I'm going to start with the small history of swimming pools. 6,000 years is what we believe the earth has been for. People have been swimming for 6,000 years. But the first known history, the first swimming pools were found in my hometown, not very far from where I was born, which was part of India at one time, was called the Indus Valley Civilization. About 5,000 years ago, in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa ruins, was found the first swimming pool. The size of the pool was 60 feet by 40 feet and about 10 feet deep. For some of us, it's a surprise since we build pools. The pool was built from stones. And from what I've read, it's very difficult to duplicate what was done 5,000 years ago. When we see a swimming pool is about 2,500 years ago, where the Greeks, they built swimming pools for their schools, for their homes, and for physical training. The next time in history when we come across swimming pools is about in about 215 BC, which is about 2,200 years ago, where the Romans had their public pools and public baths. And these pools, remind you, were built with heating, with tiling, and also with a circulation system. They do not call it filtration system, but they call it the circulation system. Now, if you can imagine, when you have a river, you've seen some clean rivers. Now, the rivers basically are clean because there is a sand bed, and the water percolates to the sand bed and comes out. So the sand bed acts like the filtration system, and man has duplicated that by making filtration systems for their swimming pools. Now, then came the public baths, which were made in Germany, England, and the wealthier citizens of that time owned swimming pools. The next time in history we come across is in 1700 AD. Okay, you will find European rivers with floating docks, which were made as swimming pools. 1800 AD, pools became very popular in England. There was a man by the name of, this is when I'm moving now to the earlier part of the 20th century. There was a guy called Adolf Sutro, and he made what is called Sutro baths in America. He was inspired by the sulfur baths that were there in Germany. Okay, and he made 7 large swimming pools in the San Francisco Bay, which is on the west coast of the United States. And each pool was the size of about twice that of an Olympic-sized pool, which was 300 feet long by about 170 feet wide. An Olympic-sized pool is half the size. And he built 7 pools, starting from the unheated pools right up to the heated pool. The unheated pool was called the freezing pool. The most heated pool was called the soup bowl. Yeah. Then in the 1920s, you could start seeing a lot of swimming pools being built in the United States, because the United States had the space, they had the income to go with it. So you have 1920s is when the swimming pool industry professionally starts taking off. And the rich and famous have their swimming pools. World War II, millions of soldiers are forced to swim because of the war. Okay, all right. When the war gets over, they come back to the United States. Swimming pool industry starts because for the need to swim, because they have been taught how to swim. It became, and today in the United States and in Europe, it's mandatory that children learn to swim at a very, very young age. Yeah. 1970, 1 million pools in the United States. Mostly backyard pools. Today, the United States has 10 million pools. Now, the reason people build swimming pools in the United States and the world over is mainly because you want to beat the heat. Number 2 is for fitness. And third is to have family time in the backyard without having to get into the car. This is a brief history of the swimming pool. Thank you.